Hey guys, what's up? Today we're diving straight into a time-lapse of the last half of my manuscript, starting with chapter 15. If you're new here, how's it going? My name is Bethany and this is my journey to discover how to edit novels properly. This is my first full-length novel. It's about 70,000 words. I had the manuscript printed so I could go through it. I find physical copies are easier to edit than when it's on a screen. My original plan was to read through the manuscript and just make notes, but that fell through when I decided to start making line edits, as you will see. They will probably be scrapped by the time I get back round to them, but I still spent months doing them, so we're gonna appreciate them anyway. There is a lot of red pen in this video, so spoilers. I've never edited something this big before. All of my editing experience comes from short stories, and those are so much easier to edit, like so much easier, because you just print it out and you have a couple of pages in front of you, way more manageable than having a massive big pile, like this giant manuscript, especially since there's no reference points for this novel. Like, I have to put my own bookmarks in. It's first world problems, right? If you have to cut something out of a short story as well, it's usually immediately obvious, whereas with a novel I kind of struggle a bit to know what to keep and what to cut. This is us on to chapter 16, I think. Yep, that looks like chapter 16. I've been struggling to find a proper way to edit recently, even finding the motivation and drive to edit, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm sort of just muddling through this by myself, which is partially why I decided to make this series, because every website or editor or blog or whatever, it's just a different method on how to start editing and what to do, and it's quite difficult to know exactly where to start, especially when a lot of them recommend that you just hire an editor, and I absolutely do not have that kind of money, and also don't see the need. If you're doing traditional publishing, there's this, like, I don't know, I guess stigma now that says, oh, if you want to be an author you have to hire a freelance editor, and you find out on all these blogs of all these people who, surprise surprise, are freelance editors. That was just a cassette player that you saw. I'm ancient, as you will see from the cardigan that I'm about to put on when we get to chapter 17. Yeah, so I'm trying to edit this myself. So here we are, chapter 17. I think the only major structural change I made through this first read-through was to totally remove this chapter, as you'll see when I get down to drawing lines through many paragraphs. I didn't like it. I scrapped most of it and added what I could salvage to other chapters. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be to completely remove a chapter. You know, everybody's like, oh, kill your darlings, it's important, you have to do that. And it's like, yeah, it is important. There's all those red lines. It is important, but sometimes it's really easy to know when you have to scrap something. It was just so boring. Oh, this is a bit that I never show at the end of my time lapses, but this is my writing notebook. And after I do each chapter, we're at chapter 18 now, but after I do each chapter, I write down the events of the chapter and the characters that were present, and then any notes that I need to make. I did a lot of editing chapter 18 as well, actually. Didn't realise that. Yeah, I write down all the notes that I need to make when I go back to edit them, and then I think that's probably the only useful thing I managed to do through this entire first read through. I took all of those events and highlighted the most important ones, and then pieced together a timeline on like cards so I could rearrange them and basically organize them to how I wanted them to be. I filled out subplots and I marked which plots each event fit into, and I took out unimportant things. And now that I've done that, my next step would be to read through the entire draft again, but more like I was a reader. This is chapter 19, I think. Maybe it's chapter 21. I forgot to film chapter 20, but that's okay. Yeah, so I need to read through it again. I put it on my Kindle. Oh, this is chapter 21. I put it on my Kindle, and I'm going to read through it as though I was like reviewing a book and picking out errors and things like that. But I have the attention span of a squirrel, as you can probably tell from listening to this voiceover. So I'm gonna do a couple of chapters at a time, otherwise I'll forget what changes I need to make and things to add in and remove. So I guess as this is coming to an end, and that's all from me today. Next time I'll be showing you guys my setup for my second draft, for actually writing it once I get that streamlined and working efficiently. Chapter 22, last chapter of the novel here. I might have a couple of book reviews coming soon that I'm going to do in actual video form once I get comfortable on camera. So keep an eye out for those. And yeah, if you have any ideas or requests for things you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. That's what people say, right? I also have a blog that you can check out. I'll see you guys next time. Cheery!